Hello. Welcome to Alcheminity because turning pain into power is sexy.
Bite into the apple, Evettes. Bite into the apple like our ancestor did long, long ago. So, if you take a look at this image, it's so powerful. I found this image on Instagram and it found its way to me, I should say. I wasn't even looking for it, but when I saw it, I said, I've got to incorporate this image in this message. Now, this is a message I've shared before, but I am resharing it because we all need to hear it. Sometimes things need to be repeated more than once. Sometimes things don't have the impact the first time around, so you try again. This image is so powerful because it is depicting what this message is about. Now, we all know the story of Eve, right? Eve was tempted by the snake, the serpent, to bite into the apple. And when she bit into the apple, supposedly man fell from God's grace and sin came upon the world. Oh my gosh, leave it up to the woman. Blame the feminine for bringing enlightenment. But as you all know, this is alcheminity, where we turn pain into power because it's sexy. Alcheminity is being the alchemist, meaning we have the ancient wisdom and insight to translate things the way they were always meant to be translated and interpreted. And I'm seeing 999 right now as I record this message. Bite into the apple. I did. And so many of you who are on this path of awakening your sleeping inner beast, your sleeping inner deity, your sleeping inner god and goddess have bitten into the apple. Part of the mission on this planet, in this world, part of you coming into your purpose, uncovering who you are and why you came to this planet, why you were even born at all, part of that mission in order to awaken is to bite into the apple. We've been taught to fear knowledge. And in school, what did they teach us? They taught us that knowledge was what? Power. That's right. Some of you probably said that shit before I did. Isn't it amazing that we're on the same page? I'm so glad you're here. In school, we were taught that knowledge is power. And then in religious doctrine, we're taught not to be knowledgeable, not to ask questions. Thou shalt not question God. Just do as thou art told. While somebody's beating your ass over the head with a bat and a Bible and saying, if you don't listen, you will burn in hell. Honey, if you haven't looked around, I'd say we're already here. But there is such a thing as creating heaven and hell, heaven on earth, so to speak. Biting into the apple, my ladies, my gentlemen, my feminines, my masculines, or my non-binary, whoever and whatever you call yourself that's listening to this, doesn't matter. Just listen to the message. Listen. Biting into the apple simply means that you are choosing to no longer be a dumbass. Let me take a sip of my tea. Excuse me while I take a sip of this. It's so good. It's peppermint tea. And my teacup name is called You Are Simply Magical. Anyway, let me take another sip. Hold on, y'all. Biting into the apple means that you choose to no longer be ignorant. That you are choosing to awaken to not only who you are, but what you are. Biting into the apple activates your wisdom, your intellect, your purpose, your mission, and your own born with it individual power. Yeah. It awakens and activates and turns on your reason for being. It turns your light on inside. So in the story of Eve biting the apple, suddenly her eyes were opened, right? Listen, those of you that read the Bible, correct me if I'm wrong, put the scripture in the comment section. That's okay. Her eyes were open and she was able to realize that she was naked and she hid or something like that, right? I want to pull up this scripture. Give me 1 second here. So here we go. And the woman said to the serpent, "We may eat of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God said, you shall not eat it, nor shall you touch it, lest you die." The interpretation for me is, and I'm not a religious person, I'm not trying to quote scripture, this is just the message I'm guided to share. The interpretation of "you shall die" means we die to the ignorance. We die to being dumbasses. We die to being blind. Right? Deaf, dumb, and mute. We die to that. We die to the selves that we used to be. We die to the selves that we thought we were. The masks fall off. You're no longer blinded by the foolery. That is the meaning of "you die." You know what just came to me? I was watching this movie. I don't know if y'all remember this movie called Class Act, but there was, it wasn't a spelling bee, but it was like some kind of contest they were in, and they were having to compete for whose schools had the best academics or IQ. And they had to quote who said to die meant to have something. Anyway, I forget who said it, but to die meant to have an orgasm. Isn't that something? Of course, this is Alcheminity, because turning pain into power is sexy. Hello. And I am a certified sexuality educator. To die meant to have an orgasm. Orgasm means to have some sort of release, meaning release from no longer being entrapped, entangled. Isn't that something? Oh, it's so powerful once you know thyself. Biting into the apple is necessary for your mental health. Biting into the apple is necessary for your personal development. Biting into the apple is necessary to awaken your power, your mission, and your purpose on this planet. Biting into the apple is necessary to gain and refine your emotional intelligence. Biting into the apple is what's gonna help you write that book. Biting into the apple is what's going to kickstart you into starting that business, building that business. Biting into that apple is what's going to help you write that hit song. When you listen to any major star singer, they wrote songs from pain. They wrote songs because they had wisdom and knowledge. They came into wisdom and knowledge about some shit, and they had to write it into a song, and it just happened to be number one on the charts, and it made them a star. Biting into the apple does require you to die. It requires the you to die that never really was you in the first place. Whew. Biting into the apple requires a part of you to die that never really was you, so that the you, the true you, can be reborn, can be activated, can be awakened. I'm aroused just sharing this message right now. Isn't this just a lovely photo of these golden apples? These apples, when I see golden, I'm seeing a crown, right? I'm seeing crowns of knowledge, golden wisdom and knowledge. Biting into the apple is necessary if you are going to save your life and the lives of those you love. Biting into the apple and getting some knowledge means you got to read some books. You got to read some shit. You got to become educated about some things. You got to become knowledgeable about some things. Biting into the apple wakes you up to realize, you know what? I need to go to that networking event. Biting into the apple awakens the knowledge in you to say, and the wisdom in you, and the intellect in you, and the common sense in you. It awakens this in you, and it lets you know, you know what? I need to send that email. I need to make that phone call. Biting into the apple awakens in you to say, you know what? Yeah, I need to go ahead and start that YouTube channel. I don't know. It awakens you. It awakens this wisdom in you to make things happen. Right? It awakens you to who you are. It awakens you to what you're supposed to be doing while you're on this planet. Why did you come here? Who are you? What are you? What are you here to do? And if you cannot answer that, it means you haven't bitten into the apple yet. And the serpent, ooh, honey, the serpent. The serpent is the Kundalini. I know, isn't it amazing? The serpent represents the Kundalini fire that awakens down in your pussy, in your root chakra. For my fellas, it awakens down in your phallics, in your phalluses. It awakens from your cock and rises up to your crown, which is golden, like these golden apples. The snake just represents the awakening of the Kundalini. And that's going to be in a completely different video. It may come after this one in the days to follow. But that is what the serpent represents. And when it awakens and when it rises, it speaks. Right? Did you hear that? It speaks in and through you. And it's really just this ancient part of you that has been lying dormant and sleeping for a very long time, and you have decided to awaken it. That is all that is. And we're going to dive deep on the Kundalini in the next cast. So the message here, bite into the apple to awaken your mission, your purpose. Bite into the apple if you no longer want to be ignorant to who you are, to what you are. Bite into the apple so that you may know thyself. Bite into the apple because you are ready to become the alchemist in your life and turn your pain into power. So I hope you enjoyed this. To those of you who are subscribed here on Alcheminity, because turning pain into power is sexy, thank you. For those of you who have not subscribed yet, what the hell are you waiting for? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you haven't gotten your copy of Activate, Unorthodox Philosophies that explore anxiety, depression, and suicidal thoughts as symptoms of suppressed superpower, go ahead and get your copy. It's available in paperback and ebook on Amazon. I break all of this stuff down in there, honey. Woo. There's so many juicy jewels in Activate. I didn't write it just to be writing it, okay? I shouldn't even say I wrote it. I should say it was a book that was written through me. That's how I'll say it. And if you want to work one-on-one with me, look at the description box below, get in contact with me. And I can't wait to see what you all alchemize. Ooh, I cannot wait to see. Anyway, I'll see y'all in the next cast. I'll chat with you in the next cast. Ciao for now. Mwah.